Stacking my coin, stacking my coin, stacking my coin, stacking my coin, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash, stacking my coin, stacking my coin, stacking my coin, stacking my coin, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, cash. Since I was born, been stacking my coin. These niggas pop, my money keep growing. Your girl is a dot, she all on my groin. She blowing my horn, we fucking porn. These rappers is whack, they lyrics are corn. I'm getting this money, it never get born. I'm loading my strap, they calling law. Fuck around and you clap for running your jaw. If it ain't about the dollars and it don't make sense. Got me sipping brown water, but it ain't from Flint. Trying to chase all this bread, though the shit won't last. About to shut the city down like a crypto crash. Stacking my coin.
Yo, it's crypto blood, Detroit flow, screaming from the D, knowing what to show. Indicators are wrong point, OG since 12, invested in trade, living life like a pro. I'm Rucker, Jerry, it's just blood too. Bad motherfucker in a good way, boo. Got my eyes on the charts, ain't no time to sleep. Get that money, gotta keep it creep. That's my crypto blood, just the toasters on the line. Stacking my coin, got the market on my mind. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum too. Cash is king, but I'm looking for a new move. I know the culture of the markets like the streets. Got my finger on the pulse, can't nobody beat. I see the trends, I see the flow. Got my strategies in place, you know.
Yo, it's NYBZ on the mic, coming through the mist, talking crypto and privacy things you can't dismiss. You Zoop's Wild Jungle, I'm the line.
Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Okay. Ready?
Fucking thing sucks! We'll do it live. Okay.
Why not do it live, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the live AMA Ask Me Anything Scalpalytics Pro, powered by Bloodalytics. A lot of lytics going on out here in these streets, ladies and gentlemen. Who we got in the building? Move in silence. I'm connected back up with Kick, so we're streaming this live on Kick. We have a Breakcoin in the building. Shout out to him. I don't know why my sound keeps unmuting over there on Kick, but we're here, ladies and gents. We're here. I'm here to answer any questions you may have about how to utilize Scalpalytics Pro to your advantage, to the best of your ability. I made it. I'm here to tell you how to do it. I'm here to tell you how to do it. So you guys are more than welcome to start throwing those questions out there. I do want to go over and drive this home because I've talked about this a couple of times on the stream during my morning streams where I trade live. If you don't know about that, I'm every morning, because YouTube is playing military mind games every morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. Come and join us, tap in, see what's going on, see what kind of money we're making over there in the morning. We trade the U.S. trading zone. And that's going to be part of kind of what I go over today. It's the time, man. The time that you trade is so important. The number one thing that's important, there's two things that make you a successful trader in any system. There's crypto, equities, even bonds. It doesn't options. It doesn't matter. Really, options kind of, I'm not an expert on options, so I can't even tell you about options. But what I can tell you about are the spot markets and the derivative markets, like or the futures markets, I should say. Timing is everything, or when you trade is that time is everything. So you want to trade when there's the most volatility, the most liquidity. That increases your odds of when you get the signal, it's going to go that direction. You're going to get enough people seeing somewhat of the similar signal to move the market in an intraday standpoint, from an intraday standpoint, in that direction. So we'll be going over time. We'll go over timing. We'll be going over the most critical thing is your trade size. We'll go over that today as well. But this is definitely a stream for you guys to ask questions, and then I will respond with anything you may have. All right. So I did put together a nice little kind of presentation, if you want to call it. Little slides, a couple slides for you, because I want to drive this home, because people may ask, you know, well, what's the difference? What makes your system any different than anything else out there? Well, first of all, there's no magic pill. There's no holy grail, but there are some differences between indicators and systems. And what we offer here at Bloodalytics.com, I'm going to bring that up really quick before we start this. Bloodalytics.com. Link is already in the description of this video. Should be, at least. Let me pull this up really quickly. Bloodalytics.com. What we offer are systems, trading systems. Okay? They are trading systems, not indicators. Big difference. Big difference. And again, we're going to go over the difference in today's stream, because I put together a couple slides for us to really differentiate the two. Really differentiate the two. So I'm going to have to close the stream preview over on Kick, because it keeps unmuting and it gets annoying as hell. All right, so there we go. So yeah, I'm providing a system, not an indicator. Again, we'll go over the difference right now while we get more people in. If you guys have any questions, we'll answer those questions. Just drop them in the chat room. If you're watching over on X, thank you, appreciate it. Show me some love over on X as well, if you will. Greatly appreciate that. All right. So let me pull up this slide that I put together to go over what exactly you're dealing with when you do sign up for Bloodalytics system. Not an indicator, but system. Okay, we're going to go over that right now. So as you guys can see on the screen, I'm going to share it now. Share this tab. Bada boom, bada bing. You should be able to see that. All right. So you should see on the screen the first slide. All right. First slide says here, it's not another indicator. It's your entire system. Unlock consistent, profitable trading with Scalpalytics Pro. So again, we're going to break down in today's live stream the difference. What's the least amount you can start with? What percentages should you strive for? What does the system provide for a trader? Just some basic questions. All right, great basic questions. I'm going to pin that, and we're going to definitely get to those questions, Wisdom Bars. Thank you for those. I'll knock out each and every one of those here in a second. All right, but let's go through this. Let me get the comment section, the comment out the way so you guys can see this. So most traders chase indicators. We all know that. I mean, when I started trading, all I knew was indicators. When I say indicators, I thought I found the Holy Grail. I thought I found the scrolls from Jesus' time. I thought I found the covenant ark. Okay. When I found out how to look at MACD crossing over, or what's the other one? I don't use none of these things anymore, but you got like RSI, right? RSI oversold. Oh, it's oversold. It's above 90. Guaranteed. I guarantee you it's going to go lower. But after, years of, not didn't even take years. It just took maybe a couple of months for me to realize it. Looking like the Three Stooges up there. Like, why isn't it going lower once we cross above 80 or 85 or 90 on the RSI? I thought it was oversold. Yeah. Well, RSI can be oversold longer than you anticipate. That's just one example. And I think I have an actual slide in here on that. Before I go forward, though, speaking of RSI and something being oversold, I want to show you guys what is oversold or overbought, I should say. Something we got going on right now in the markets. And let me see if I can bring it up on TradingView. I don't trade this asset, but boy, do I own it physically. And I'm sure some of you, when I said physical, you probably knew what I was talking about. I'm talking about silver, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if a CFD. Let's see. Let me bring up CFD silver. Bring up silver. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find one that I would like to bring up. Let me just type in silver. How about I just do that? Silver. Boom. Oh, it's just TVC. We'll use this. So let me get rid of these indicators. I can't believe this, ladies and gentlemen. Silver is at 69. My favorite number, 69.99, ladies and gentlemen. Silver is going crazy right now, bro. Oh my God. It hit 69.69. Silver hit 69.69 today, guys. You can't tell me we don't live in a simulation. All right, but what I want to show you, if I bring up an indicator like RSI, you will see the relative strength index for silver is or has been highly overbought. You would have thought it was overbought back here. I'm just giving you an example. Back here, well into the 70s, right? Got all the way up to 77. Overbought. Now, if we put a mark here at this level, we do a horizontal or vertical mark here at the overbought right there. If you would have sold, guess what? Would you have gotten back in down at 36 on the RSI? No, probably not. You would have been waiting for it to get down in the 20s or below 25 to try to get back in. It never made it. Now we're punching another leg up. That was an additional 0.5%. And I can just keep going back in time. I can go back here when silver was highly overbought, up into the 80s, highly overbought at $68. Oh, that's the 1 minute. I'm sorry. Let me zoom out. Let me go to maybe like a 5 minute. Let's see. I was wondering why. I thought we should get some better. So here we go. So this is $65. Highly overbought. And I'm just going to circle them. I'm doing this dry. This is a dry run. I haven't looked at these charts at all. Okay. And so this one just went crazy at 87 RSI overbought on silver. December 16th. It was about what 8 days ago. If you would have sold there, you would have it damn near was no pullback. It got a little pullback here, but overall, we never really got a significant pullback. So I say all that to say, you know, these are indicators. You got MACDs, you got all these RSIs, all these various oscillators and such. They're just that. They're just one piece of the puzzle. It's one piece of the puzzle. The winners, the consistent winners build systems, guys. And this is what I've built with Scalpalytics. So the indicator graveyard. So traders spend years collecting indicators, right? RSIs I talked about, MACD, VWAP, order blocks, believing the next one is the holy grail. But indicators are just data. They describe what happened. They don't prescribe a profitable action. Conditions alone don't generate profits. Okay? They don't alone generate profits. It's just explaining to you kind of what happened. So saying I trade with MACD or I trade with RSI or I trade with any of these indicators is like a mechanic saying I build cars with a wrench. A tool is not a process. A single indicator, no matter how good, cannot account for volatility, risk, or market regimes. It's a single part of a complex engine. Now, there are some, you want to say, paid indicators that give you maybe kind of a combination of various indicators all into one, right? That are maybe a tad bit better, for sure. I know some good ones out there that do a good job, indicators, right? That help you figure out areas to get in and potentially get out, but still not all the way there. That's not what you need. You need more than just a kind of like conglomerate of indicators or such. You need more than that for trading as well. You got to have more than just indicators that's giving you areas where it potentially could go bullish, potentially could go bearish. Because, and I'll get into it, I'm going to answer some of Wisdom Bar's questions, because that's not going to get you the alpha that you need fully. Unless you have a set of those types of tools and you pair it with an actual system that you already have. Most people, though, looking for some type of edge, if you ain't got one already, you probably ain't going to have one or haven't built one. So most people looking for systems like Scalpalytics, they don't have a system. They need a full system. People looking for indicators don't have a system. They're looking for a system, but they are looking in the wrong direction. They're looking for indicators. They should be looking for systems. So if anything, you want to try to find, when you do searches, look for a system to purchase or subscribe to. So a signal is a question. A system is the answer. So for example, a signal of RSI oversold asks, is the opportunity there? A system answering by running it through. So a system is answering that question by running through complete decision-making processes. So like with Scalpalytics Pro, I built it with that in mind, right? So a signal alone, alert, crossover, RSI oversold, MACD did this on a downward decline and blah, blah, split, right? But with the system like Scalpalytics Pro, you're going to get an alert, which you get with many times any of these indicators, but then you get like a volatility filter I have in there. You got trend. So that's telling us, okay, we got an alert. The trend is telling us going long or going short. It's going to tell you sizing, how much you should be putting on the table on that trade. Entry confirmation, boom. That's going to give you the actual entry. And then you got trade management. That's going to tell you how you scale out of that trade position. How do you trade? How you scale out of that position? So the management of that trade is very important as well. And then a full defined exit where you just completely take either all the rest of your profits off the table or you cut your losses. So it's a multi-tiered, multifaceted algo. It's an algo, right? It is an algo. So Scalpalytics Pro, a comprehensive trading system built from years of algorithmic development. I've created a system that transforms raw market data into structured, repeatable processes for high frequency crypto scalping. Okay. And it just depends on what system you sign up for, which package I should say, whether it's, you know, Bitcoin and Ethereum, you get 2 pairs per package. Okay. Depends on how active the signals hit per day. And this is a very broad, not fully accurate. I just had to give you a range of how many signals you'll get per day. It really, if you trade it during the time periods that I'm going to go over in today's live stream, if you trade it during those time periods, the trades are going to be significantly less than what you see here. This is based on the system running all day, all night, 24/7, 7 days a week. I do not recommend trading a system like that unless it's automated. Even automated with the how I have this design, it's not meant to be traded 24/7. Straight up. Just not. So let me get to Wisdom Bar's question, because then we got another question from Moving Silence. So he says here, Wisdom Bars, what's the least amount you can start with? So at $80 a month, you should, I should say, start with about $1,000. You could go as low as 500, but I wouldn't want you to overtrade your account. And like I could, if I were brand new with the skill sets that I have now, I could start the account with $250 and make money for that month, and then have enough money over to pay the subscription. But you're assuming that you're kind of new to this, I would give yourself more room, and I would trade less leverage per trade, and we'll get into all that tonight as well. But yeah, that's what I would do. $1,000. And because you're scalping, very tight stops. We got very tight stops on our systems between 0.4% and about 0.5% is the max. We'll go through that as well. The details on the stops and stuff. They're dynamic, but that on average, that's where the stop losses will come in. So very tight stop losses, really closer to the 0.3. So 1/3% roughly. But you'll see all that on the chart when you're looking at the charts on TradingView once you sign up. But yeah, you can make off $1,000 a month trading the way I have, explained. You can make damn near $1,000 a month. At least $500 a month. You should be able to make at least $500 a month off $1,000. So you do the multiplication, you do the addition. So if you got 10 grand, which is you should be coming in 10 grand or more, 5 grand. Okay, you could do 5 grand, but let's just keep the numbers simple. 10 grand initial capital, you should be able to make $5K a month. And that's not cowboying your trades, like throwing it all on black. So that's your first question. What's the least amount? What percentages should you strive for? You don't strive for, okay, so you back into what percentages you want. So percentage, I'm assuming you're more so talking about what profit should you be striving for. That's going to vary case by case, account size by account size. The worst thing you want to do is try to pick a number that you want to make and try to force that trade to make that amount of money, because you might be trying to make an amount of money that's not realistic for that trading size, that account size. So that's why you should go the other way around with it. You should look at what your trading size is. And again, I just gave you a scenario, $1,000 account. You should be able to make $500 within 30 days. You may say that's not enough. Well, you got to put more money in. You have to put more initial capital or allocate more capital to your trading account to see better returns. Again, none of it is guaranteed. You could have a losing streak. Okay. And you start on the worst sequence of trades. It's possible, but it's not probable. It's not probable. The other question that Wisdom Bars has here is, what does your system provide for a trader? It provides you, and I'll go back to this. I'll go back to this slide. It provides you this. It provides you with a full system. Alert, volatility filter. That pretty much is, I don't have that automatically included in this particular system, Scalpalytics, because I pretty much, I mean, it is a little bit like the wider the bands are, the line, the bloodline, the wider that is somewhat representative of volatility. So if it's a very wide gap, then you're dealing with a lot more volatility, versus if everything kind of compresses, your volatility means that it's very low volatility, and so we can take advantage of any nice breakout to the upside or downside. But the reason I kind of say the volatility filter is not really inherently in this system is because we manually put our own volatility filter on there by saying, and I'll show you the charts in a minute. We have some great trades that ended up panning out for us today, toward the later tail of today's session, U.S. session. But we add our own volatility filter by saying only trade this signal, this system during early, late, or not late, but early U.S. hours, meaning like 8:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, going into the open Eastern Standard Time, into the close of the U.S. trading zone. So that's 4 o'clock. That's adding your own volatility filter. So you get trend filter, you get the sizing, and you get entry confirmation. Trade management is going to be when you take profits. Okay. When you take 50% profit, when you take 25% profit, we'll go over all of that in today's episode, and then actual defined exits. So that's the logic that you get when you're signing up with Scalpalytics Pro. So the anatomy of a professional trade. Okay, you got to detect the environment. We talked about that. Validate quality. That's all done by me putting on the screen, on the chart, whether or not we're going long or short. That's all being done in the background. So by the time you see a long or short, you'll see that's number 2. That's when you see number 2, is when it goes through all the score, signal, probability, and context, all of that. After that happens, you'll get the actual trade. Okay, and that kind of goes into number 4. And then managed trade is, again, us taking profits along the way, scaling out of that position. I got perfect examples today we're going to go over. So stay around for that. We'll take a look at the charts here in a minute. So behaviors, not opinions. The difference between a tool and a system is the difference between random outcomes and disciplined edge. So output. Signal alone is going to give you opinions, alerts, noise. So with a signal or an indicator, you're going to get, I feel like because we got this here, that here, and it crossed over here and blase split, we're going to go long. It's a bullish trend forming here. You might get some alerts. You're going to get some noise too. But with the system, you're going to get defined behaviors and decisions. It's either buy or it's either sell. There's nothing in between. It is no second guessing. It's no maybe. No, it's a buy or a sell. Long or short. Synonymous. Same thing. So reliability. So signals prone to false positives. Again, signals. A system is not going to give you a false positive. That doesn't mean that you don't get a false or a losing trade, but based on the criteria that the system has in its engine, in PineScript, it's going to give you that same motion every time. So it's no second guessing whether it's a false positive or a positive alert, and then it doesn't know. You're going to know exactly what you're getting. Adaptability. So signals typically are static, right? Requires manual tweaking. With systems, signals, I should say, with signals, it adapts to volatility and market regimes. That's very true with my system. It's going to adapt with, once we're in the trade, it's going to set a stop loss, a soft stop loss area that should keep you from getting those liquidity grabs at very commonly known stop loss areas. And on the upside, when you're in the money, it's going to dynamically scale you out of the position. And again, we'll go over all that here in today's live stream. Outcome. So, random entries, inconsistent P&L. You really don't know P&L with a signal. You really don't know what the P&L is with the signal, because at least in PineScript on TradingView, there is no backtest data. So you don't know. And scalability. So limited to manual checks, automated pipeline for high frequency trading is available or possible with a system. So this is something you can use this checklist even if you're not using Scalpalytics Pro to develop your own signal. You can develop your own signal. Okay, this is not a stream where I'm saying you gotta buy this signal or this system or that system to no, you can manually create your own system, but you gotta check through these boxes. So maybe pause that and screenshot it and develop your own system in addition to using an indicator. I would suggest you do that. So an algo isn't a magical indicator. It's a process, a simple, repeatable, and disciplined process that generates alpha. That's what generates alpha. Yeah, that's what generates alpha. So that was just a little slide deck I put together because I really wanted to drive home the difference between signals, indicators, and a full system, which Bloodalytics.com offers. All right, so let's get into the charts, man. Let's get into the charts. Hey, man, say, man, let's get into the charts, baby. That's a good question. That's a good observation too. So I can show you how you get that. It's all available in the available parameters within Scalpalytics Pro. That'll be, let's hold that for the end He's asking here that he saw on the E-minis futures signal that I built for a client a couple months ago. I showed that signal today, and it showed like a double long. And yes, that is available within the actual framework of what you've purchased with Bloodalytics or Scalpalytics Pro. That is available for you, and I'll show you how you can enable that. It's really making something more sensitive. It's one of the parameters to make it more sensitive. You'll get that, but you got to be willing to understand that it can give you more false signals. But for the public, I just turned it completely off. But for advanced users, the tool is powerful. You can really tweak it and make it your own. So I'll definitely go through that in a minute. So let me just highlight that one, pin that question. Yeah, most indicators are lagging indicators. Definitely most are lagging. Also, how can you tailor the signal to hiking Ashi candles? I remember the old one used Rinko. Yeah. Talk to me in the chat room about that, because I don't want to give the secret sauce away on that. There's something you need to do in your settings, at least on Rinko. I don't know about the Ashi candle ones. I don't use those, but the Rinko ones, to prevent to give you actual consistent readings with your indicator on top of a Rinko candle. Yes, it's something you have to do in the settings of the chart. So I would rather keep that within the Bloodalytics crew. So just ping me on Telegram with that one. So Moving Silence says he aims for 0.8 to 1%. For example, I trade 500 with 45x leverage, and I'm trading with 24,000, and 1% of that is anywhere between. Correct. There you go. There you go. Exactly. So think of it like this. With Scalpalytics, that's pretty much what you're going to get anywhere between 1%, 8.8%, 1% on a good day where it just runs off on you. It's a lot of volatility. You can get more on the raw signal alone. But if you get good at using Scalpalytics Pro, you can easily get north of a 1.5% on a consistent basis almost daily. But you got it. I'm gonna have to show you. I might have to save that for another video. Maybe not. We'll see how much time we got left. We got about 20 minutes. I'm gonna try to keep this at an hour. But once you get familiar with the system, you'll know how to basically do a double long and backfill into positions. Now, just real quick, I just want to show y'all from what happened earlier. Remember, I said you could have gone short on Bitcoin and hid your stop right at that orange line. And what do you, ladies and gentlemen, you will be up nicely. That was today. Moving Silence, for an example. In today's trade, you would have been up 2.5%, almost 2.5%. I'll give you 2%. 2% move on that move alone, but that was based on structurally looking at where we were in the markets, hiding your stops above wicks. And that's all I did. I just lined that up. I said, and you guys go look at my live stream earlier today. You'll see what I'm talking about. I'm sure Moving Silence saw that stream. That was a chicken dinner winner right there, ladies and gents. All right, but let's talk about systematic trading, though. Rule-based trading. That's what you're here for. Okay, so remember I talked about, so this is what you'll get, right? When you sign up, you'll get a link, a TradingView link Once you've been invited to the actual script, all of this will be visible. Now on mobile, I don't trade on mobile. I know I've noticed a lot of people, I don't know how you do it. What I do, if I'm on my mobile app or I have my tablet with me, what I'll do is remote into my desktop computer and look at it from like as though I'm looking at the desktop. I cannot look at charts on or in a mobile format. It just does not work for me. My spatial intelligence is off. It simply does not work. It simply does not work. So yeah, I have to look at it on a desktop, or if I am away from the computer, I remote into my desktop so I can see the screen from that view. That's a little trick maybe you can add to your arsenal. But here we go. Volatility. Remember I talked about volatility. See if I can go back to that slide. Volatility. Filtering. Right here. Volatility filtering. Box number 2. So how, again, we do implement volatility filtering is to say, hey, we're only going to trade during, I have it highlighted in green, which is like kind of New York time zone, but you can start a little bit before then. I usually wake up about 8 o'clock, get my coffee brewed and going. I don't brew it. I use an espresso machine. I grind it and, all that bougie shit. I know. But you get the picture. Get my coffee, get to the desk, 8:30, 8:45, boom. Now I'm looking for potential entries. Okay. Today, we didn't have any signals to go long during the good time frame. Again, on the chart, you'll see best time for quality signals. It'll be highlighted from 9:30 a.m. until 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's pretty much U.S. time, New York time zone for trading, right? The New York trading session. And then before that, you have a yellow mapping or shaded area, which is going to be your London trading session. And that starts at 3:30 a.m. and it bleeds into the U.S. trading session up until 11:30 a.m. I have it yellow because it's less quality signals, but there, to say the least, you do get some signals. To say the least, you do get some signals. You can still make some money. I have people that are signed up in Europe that trade consistently well during the London zone. Other than that, I say don't trade. And then over the weekend, it's completely blacked out. So if we're in a trade, it will keep, basically taking profit or giving you signals to take profit along the way in the during the weekend. It will just and that's the trade management box here at the bottom, right? The trade management aspect of the system that will still work and continue to work during the weekend. It just won't add a new trade to the table. So we'll only manage the trade we're in and take profits along the way until it finally closes that trade, which it did on Sunday at 8 a.m. that long from Friday. Okay. So how it works, essentially, again, you're just looking for the buy signal or you're looking for the sell signal. It's just that simple. That's what you're paying for. Simplicity. I know that sounds counterintuitive and ass backwards, but no, you actually got to pay for you take Apple, right? I'm not even an Apple fan, but you take Apple. They spend a lot of R&D, research and development money on making things simple. It's hard to make things simple. It costs a lot of money to make things simple, ironically enough. But in today's session, you would have gotten a trade to go short on Bitcoin right here at 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You would have taken 50% of your profits here. That's what S chicken stands for. You would have taken another 25% here, 25% here, and lo and behold, look at that. Most of you've locked in most of your gains in this short. Beautiful thing. So just in case, you know, by tomorrow or going into the London zone at 3:30 in the morning, it decided to go the other way, guess what? You're already in. You're playing with house money now. And so that's the philosophy with Scalpalytics Pro. We're always taking profits and never missing that opportunity to lock in gains, because I've never met somebody losing taking profits. I just never have. Let's see. Moving Silence said, also, I know you warn us to trade during certain times, but that Sunday night trade is always clutch. Yeah, no, I mean, listen, that's why I don't have it locked down fully, because I'm it already got training wheels on here. But I mean, I gotta give you some breath for people to maneuver and navigate this, because you may have a system that you like. I just know for sure Saturday, no go. You're gonna lose money 9 times out of 10. You zoom out enough. Yeah, you may make money once or twice, and then now you want to make that the rule, but it ain't. You zoom out over, let's just say, a quarter, right? 16 weekends, 16 Saturdays. You zoom out 16 Saturdays, it's gonna be a non-profitable event trading on Saturdays in crypto. So that's why I just blacked that out. Now on Sundays, I do open it up at 7 p.m. On Sundays, which I've seen time periods where it's even profitable to trade earlier on Sundays, like 5, even earlier than that, noon Eastern Standard Time. You know, so be it. Maybe I'll change the blackout window for the weekend to be earlier on Sunday. Maybe I'll do that at some point. But DM Lindley said, I got in on that short. Don't forget a stop loss. Always take profits. You will regret it in the end if you don't. You absolutely listen. It is so this is a great comment right here. Bro, because you're dealing with leverage, you have to really take this shit seriously. Because if you don't put that stop loss in, bro, you can literally blow your account. And you don't even, so don't second guess. Every time you open a trade, immediately put the stop loss in. So for example, I'll just go ahead and live trade this one. Here we got a long trade. I like to get, this is another rule of thumb. We don't enter trades above entry, or if you're going short, we don't enter trades below entry. See, this is a gift because we're getting in a little below entry on the long. I like that. I would have liked to get in down here, but hey, I was yapping my gums. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go over here. I'm already on Ethereum. I'm going to nibble on this. Remember, I told you guys earlier, it is a holiday week. So don't get crazy with it. Do not get crazy with it. So I'll just do 39K long. Okay. Immediately, what do? You come to the Bloodalytics chart. Look at that green dotted line. That's your stop loss area. Again, the main thing is you don't put your stop loss right at the stop loss area, because I've showed this so many times before. We'll have the market come down, punch into it, and then before the candle closes, come back up. It's liquidity grabbing. So you want to make sure the market is really has a commitment to take out all those people, because it'll punch down there and wick and then come back up before the close of that bar, and we continue on to the upside. So don't get caught with your pants down. I always suggest having, if you're going long, I would say you want to be probably another 0.1% lower than the stop loss, 0.1.5%. So 0.15 even below this stop loss line. It just gives you a buffer, simply because it's a number of reasons. The main reason is because my signals are always based off of Binance's feed. Binance is the highest liquidity. I like using them as a reference. Most exchanges, however, don't use just one price feed. They do like a basket of feeds. They'll use Binance, Coinbase, or KuCoin, whatever. They'll use like 5 different feeds to come up with an average price. So that's another reason why you want to give yourself some buffer on the stop loss, because that stop loss area will be potentially a different price than what you see on the charts coming from Binance. So give yourself some buffer. Give yourself some buffer. So what I do, here's a rule of thumb. Again, this is why I trade on the actual laptop or computer, because I can quickly do a boom, right click on the chart on Trading View, copy price, bada boom, bada bing. I've copied it well below the stop loss. Then I jump over here and I put TP over on BYDFi, boom. And I just drop the price in there. Quick, bam, I'm done. Now, if I add to the position on BYDFi, you don't have to worry about adjusting the stop loss size or order size. It'll automatically update that. So all you got to do at this point is manage your position. So if you want to go, if it pulls down some more, it's fine. You can double down. You can add more to your position. And this is how I was saying earlier, this is how you can extract more out of what seems like just a winning trade on Bloodalytics, Scalpalytics Pro. You can extract a lot more. Once you get familiar with how everything works, you can buy on the pullbacks, get into your position, get your initial trade. Let's say you were going to trade a $10,000 nominal trade, right? I'm just using some number. You put that in, it pulls back. Maybe you're down a couple $100. You can add another $25 or $5,000 to your trade. That brings your dollar cost average down. Doesn't change your stop loss area. It just kind of it coils the trade. So you can, as you get closer to that stop loss, you can add even more. Defend the stop loss. Don't wait for it and see if everybody else is going to defend it. You be the participant as well to defend that line, and boom, that bad boy bounces off that line and it goes the other way. Your dollar cost average price has come down significantly, damn near the stop loss price. You Gucci at that point, ladies and gentlemen. Moving Silence says, I usually just put S&L percentage that's coded in the script. Yes. You can do that as well. I do have the tooltip. I don't know if I have it on this version. No, I don't. I don't have it on this version. On a different version of the script, I have in parentheses for the current stop loss level. I have it in parentheses as well. But yes, you can look at, once you sign up, you can open the script up, double click it, and look under the input section, and you'll be able to see what the stop loss is, and it's going to be right here. So 0.55. And I don't make it solid 0.5%. a 0.25%. Give it a little off basis, randomness to it, so that those stop loss hunters don't get you. Be off a little bit. You got to be off a little bit. Okay. So immediately you set that stop loss, and now you're good, man. If the internet goes out, God forbid the connection to the exchange goes out. These are things which are your risk of ruin. You'll be surprised how high your risk of ruin, how high people's risk or traders' risk of ruin is, and they don't even realize it. This is a marathon, not a sprint. If you're really trying to do this for a living to make an income, this is how serious you got to be. If you're out here just looking to gamble, that's a whole totally different situation. You just like the feeling of losing. That's what gamblers love. They love the rush of losing. Honestly, they don't like the rush of winning, because 9.999 out of 10 gamblers are losers. You don't want to be a gambler. Or maybe you do, but I don't. I'm not a gambler. Which time interval is the best to use, 30-minute or 1 hour for daily trades? 15-minute. I'm gonna be 5-minute. 30-minute for a daily? No. You won't be. You're gonna be too late. It's a cold world, Jermaine, wearing the mink. You gotta, if you're trading intraday, you gotta be 5-minute or lower. 13-minute, 15-minute, you start. I'm giving you the, but definitely not 30-minute for me. But I'm sure out there are people that make it happen on a 30-minute and 1 hour candle trading daily. But I don't see it. I hope I'm reading your question correctly. I'm not seeing it. I don't see that working. Now, if you're a swing trader, you could potentially work with the 30-day, and you're looking to, hold a position for 3-4 days, 2 days, 3 days. Fine. I could see that being the case. Yeah, that 0.1.15 is good buffer on your stop loss, guys. I'm telling you, it's going to help you out. It's going to help you out. Yeah, don't change. Here's the thing. If you want to experiment with stuff, you can add the indicator. You literally can just click on the indicator, Control C, open a new chart, Control V, and that'll copy the script over to a new chart, save it, and then you can start experimenting. But I'm telling you, I fitted this for, consistent returns. This is not something I've done overnight. This is taking many hours to get to this position. So here we go. This is an example. We're starting to get close to that line. So what am I going to do? I'm going to nibble on it some more. I'm going to add a little bit more to the table. Let's add a little bit more. Let's put another 15K on there. Boom. Add it to it. Let's roll. Let's coil this bad boy up. Now, honestly, looking at this, it really looks like one would want to, if you would really need to hide your stop loss below here. You really need to hide your stop loss below these wicks right here, which is going to be this, which is going to be this V and this V, just looking at it. But it's cool. I'm not gonna change my risk profile for this. Again, discipline, do the same thing. It's a repeatable action. That's all systematic trading is. Repeatable action. Let the statistics help you win. Let probability help you win. You keep doing the same thing over and over again, and we know it's a winning formula. Just let that play out. You're going to win. you're going to win. Let the probability be your friend. So that's all you got to do. Don't worry, because if you start getting into the habit of, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to move the stop loss down, it'll never stop. You'll win once or twice off of it, and you'll get a negative, what's called a negative reward. So you got a reward for doing something you shouldn't have done. That, man, that's hard to unwind. Hard to unwind. Because what's going to happen is what we're doing here. And again, this is 8, 9 o'clock at night. I'm not even supposed to be trading right now. I'm just showing you these trades just to give you some kind of like real live feel for the system. But I would not be trading right now. My trading would have stopped right here if I was in this short. We would have taken profits here, and then the reversal to go long, we would have just closed out this short right here. Initial short from earlier today at 12 o'clock. We would have just closed out the long or the short, because that's going into an opposite trade, right? So that's all that we would have closed right there. And then waited for tomorrow. Got up, rinse and repeat. And that's how you make consistent profits. I wasn't even showing the actual chart. But yeah, I would have taken profits. We would have taken profits here, 50% there, 25 here, 25 here, 25 here. And then close the trade out, the rest of that short out right here, where the signal told us to go long, because we're not looking to enter any new trades until tomorrow morning. So we just rinse and repeat, do the same thing over and over again for consistent income. It doesn't. So I use cross instead of isolated because it doesn't matter. I don't over leverage my accounts. So I'm literally on my manual trades and lo and behold, what do you see? I'm just showing you an example, literally live and direct. What do you see? I literally just talked about this. And what did it do? It wigged down, took out the line, came back up, closed above the green line, and guess where it's going now? It's going up. Not saying it won't continue down, but I'm just showing you how to, and literally live and direct, you see what I'm talking about. This is what it does. So I formulated where to put stop losses based on our entries. Yes, it's a stagnant or static distance, but my entry is not static. So it's kind of like not static stop loss. But yeah, you get this all the time with Scalpalytics Pro. So we're doing something right, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing something right. So yeah, so I don't over trade, so I don't need to be isolated. You could be. It just basically isolated versus cross allows, if one of your other positions you get liquidated out, it'll just self-contain that liquidation to that pair. It won't affect or close other pairs that you have open. I swear to God, look at this shit, man. I mean, come on, ladies and gentlemen. I can't make this shit up. Move in silence. I can't make this up, bro. And guess what we did over here on the actual exchange? If I would have set my stop loss where the green line was, guess what? I would have been tapped out and not almost at break even right now. He said, I'm already knowing. So that's that, guys. I mean, we'll do another AMA, maybe even next Monday, because it's still a lot that I want to show you guys on how to use this, but it's too much to try to cram into one session. We're already at 1 hour and 5. I can't believe that. Hit that like button, follow the stream, Crypto Blood on YouTube, guys. Follow us for all the trading insights. We trade daily. I do this. Many of us trade for a living. So this is the channel you want to be at least abreast of, because you'll get some hidden gems, you get some jewels drop. Even if you're not signing up with Scalpalytics Pro, just during the normal live streams, you are going to get something that you can go home with and maybe add into your own trading system. You want to build a system. You want to build a system. You don't want to just use indicators. Use indicators to build your system. How about that? Or sign up for bloodalytics.com. Link is in the description below. Again, bloodalytics.com. We got Scalpalytics Pro for Bitcoin and Ethereum, SUI XRP, Solana BNB. You know the rest, ladies and gents. We'll do this again next week because there's some other stuff I want to go over. By the way, we are now up in the trade. Couldn't be a better way to end the stream. The universe showing you that Crypto Blood knows what the hit the like button, share the stream, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be streaming again live, trading these markets, making this money. Let's get it, Dunny. All right.
Yo, it's Crypto Blood, Detroit flow, screaming from the D, knowing what to show. Indicators are on point, OG since 12, invested in trade, living life like a pro. I'm Rucker, Jerry, and just Bloods do. Bad motherfucker, but in a good way, boo. Got my eyes on the charts, ain't no time to sleep. Get that money, gotta keep it creep. That's why Crypto Blood, Twisted Toasters on the line. Stacking my coin, got the market on my mind. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum too. Cash is king, but I'm looking for a new move. I know the culture of the markets like the streets. Got my finger on the pulse, can't nobody beat. I see the trends, I see the flow. Got my strategies in place, you know.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Okay. Ready?
Fucking thing sucks. We'll do it live.
Okay.